Yeah, the funniest part is the cat is the one wearing the goggles. So ridiculous.
And have the ASPCA all spun up about a CGI cat.
Right. Yeah, the Walter the Cat commercials are absolutely fantastic. And the first one, when he throws the stick in the lake and the cat brings the stick back, there's an old man fishing, and the old man goes, "That's incredible." And the guy starts going on, "Oh yeah, this is a Chevy pickup, and it's got all these features and blah blah blah." And he goes, "No, I was referring to the cat." And he's like, "What are you talking about? He's just a cat. He doesn't have all these features." All right, so Carrie got her teeth worked on and is sore and grumpy, and so she will not be playing. And I assume CL is worn out.
Yeah, she literally just got home from a 12-hour day of work.
Yeah, no, I don't blame her at all. The first thing that happens when a company starts bleeding help is that they seem to think that it's all the other employees' responsibility. So, no, I totally get it. I remember when I worked for Opticraft, their big thing not only was them bleeding employees your responsibility, but they didn't understand the meaning of the term at capacity. And so they would just their sales team would go out and continue to add orders even though they knew we were at capacity for what we could manufacture. And it's like, guys, you can't put 10 gallons of water in a 5-gallon bucket. And then they would get pissed off, of course, when we couldn't meet quota.
I love how they do that.
Yeah. Yeah, Essilor as a company is a piece of shit. I guess the lesson here is don't buy Essilor. Let's see, we're down 2 players, but that is okay. So, Billy, you're going to take over Cletaris for the day. Yep. And we will just hand wave Zinquinel. All right, so welcome to Storm King's Thunder. We will be picking up where we left off last week. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the Friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. We're going to do this a little bit differently since our friends list is getting quite large. But it should be noted that none of these are sponsorships or partnerships. These are just products that we like. If you are watching on Twitch, scroll down, you should see some tiles there. If you do not see the tiles, please click on my profile image and they should pop up for you. Today's friend that we are going to bring up is Fable Beard Company. The Fable Beard Company makes beard products such as oils, balms, butters, and co-wash. They have a full line of eco-friendly deodorants. They have a new line of body lotion, and each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. Today I am wearing the Lumberjack, which smells of maple syrup and pancakes. I'm sure they have a multitude of scents. I'm sure you'll find one that suits your needs. If you are a first-time purchaser, they do have a buy one, get one free option. Go to fablebeardco.com, create an account, and if you put 2 beard oils into your cart, you can use the code FIRST in all capital letters, and the second beard oil will be discounted to free. If you're a fan of our Wednesday night Traveler game, you can click on the link for the Traveler game. That will lead to a webpage via Obsidian portal where we detail the adventures of our weekly Pirates of Drinax campaign. The adventure log is done in a manner of Traveler News Service articles. And it doesn't just detail what the characters are doing, it details the region as a whole. And so some of the news articles may indirectly affect the travelers. It's just, it is news of what's going on. If you like the page, please give us a thumbs up, give us that fan like, and we hope you enjoy. So where we left off last week, you guys were just getting ready to leave Waterdeep, having completed Ziliang's quest and Nasine Drothkala. Well, I don't necessarily know that you can say that you've completed Nasine Drothkala's quest, but it kind of turned into something else where you met with Chazloth, and Chazloth recommends that you go in search of Old Gnawbone, who is a green dragon in the Crypt Garden Forest. So that's where that kind of left off. Next on your current laundry list of things would be to travel to Daggerford to complete Oren Yogalov's quest. Let me bring up the map here. Where is my map? There it is. So here is the map. And of course you are in Waterdeep. And, your next stop would be Daggerford. And from Daggerford, you can travel back either to Golden Fields. You've got the quest for Grudhaug. You could just, Golden Fields is kind of on the way to Grudhaug if you wanted to. Crypt Garden Forest is up here. Just northwest of Red Larch. So I don't know. I guess you could stop in Golden Fields, touch base, blah blah blah, and then of course you still have the quest for Lifferloss, which is, it looks like that's the only one that'll be left over, and Lifferloss's side quest is kind of more long range. You're going to have to do some traveling for that one. So, I don't know, in your immediate vicinity, Daggerford, Grudhaug, and Crypt Garden Forest. So, I would assume that your next stop would be to Daggerford. Knock that out of the way. But, before you leave Waterdeep, is there anything that you want to purchase or sell, or... Because, this is the City of Splendors. Almost anything is available.
We are missing a cleric. It might be prudent to buy some healing potions.
Yes.
Well, I know that you received quite a few healing potions as part of your rewards for the quest. I don't know how many more you want to purchase.
Well, we have potions of superior healing, I think, which are like a crazy amount of HP.
Yeah,
so I don't know if we need to buy just some regular ones so that we can just sort of drink them in place of the cleric healing us, or if not, I don't know.
I also have the Staff of Healing, which does recharge over time. We just haven't really needed it until the end. It was like, round 5, who's down? Oh, I'm down 10. So it was kind of like, do we stop combat for me to use the staff? But I do still have 10 charges of healing on a daily basis.
Well, you're fine then. Never mind.
The paladin doesn't have many spell slots, but she does have a cure wounds and lay on hands, so that helps.
Paladins make an awesome off healer. So do bards if they're.
I could think of that we needed to do, and I guess we don't need to do it, so never mind.
Okay, well that saves you some money.
There was something I wanted. I'm trying to remember. Is there any? Oh, I remember. Was there any benefit to me swinging by the Thieves Guild here to see if there's anything that they might have for me as being a member of the Wolf?
Oh. Yeah. Possibly.
I haven't hit the guild's head, to be like, hey guys, I just want to show up and pay my respects as a member.
Yeah. Hold on here.
And if not, I'll probably purchase somewhere anyway.
Yeah, I had forgotten you wanted to do that.
Any rich people I can pick up along the way? Fine.
So the first thing, this is your first time in Waterdeep, and it is a big city, and it's not like you can just walk up to a. It's not like you just walk up to a random person and be like, "Hey, do you know where the Zentrium Clubhouse is?" So make an investigation check. How much, in your investigation check, how much gold or silver are you wanting to spend to grease palms to get information?
I'll put down, because it is really worth it for me, I will start with 1 gold. And if I feel like the person's holding out on me, I'll throw in a second.
Okay. So I will allow you to make your investigation check with a +2.
All right. What is my investigation? Oof, my investigation is not high. Maybe I'll throw another 2 gold on it then.
Okay. Yeah, basically you'll get a +2. If you'll get a +2 per gold piece. If you want to throw 3 gold pieces in, you can make the roll with advantage.
I think I'll do that because my investigation is only +1 already.
Okay.
I don't have proficiency in it, so. Fuck my life. It's not meant to be. I only rolled a 7.
A 7.
So an 8. An 8 with advantage. Forgot to add my 1 stat point.
Hold on here.
Oh well. Who's worth check?
So what did you get for total?
8. Unless you wanted me to add was it +3 per gold point as well? Or am I only doing the advantage thing?
Only the advantage. So it's not that you don't learn anything. You do learn that I'm trying to...
Advantage to be wrong.
Hold on. I need to look at this map. And the street names are so damn small, I may need a magnifying glass. Let's see here.
Man, I mean, Chris, if it was like a get there easily thing, I'm not trying to bother because I don't want to hold up the party while I'm like, hey, let me get to the thing. It was just like, if I could get there easy, I would, but not at the sake of the party.
Now, you do find that there is or you hear rumors that there is a Zent hideout in the Castle Ward. Or, I'm sorry, not the Castle Ward, in North Ward. But that's about as close as you can narrow it down. And I will bring up and I'll show you here. So you are currently in the Castle Ward in this area, and you learn that there is a Zent hideout somewhere up here in the North Ward.
By chance, would my snake thing know the route?
That it would.
I would like to follow my snake thing there.
Okay.
And because I have, what is that stupid skill of mine? Lets me like navigate cities with ease. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a halfling or because I'm an orphan. One of the two.
So, I'm sorry, what was the second half of that?
I have stupid ability to let me like navigate cities with ease or something. Like if I'm in a city, I can get around easily.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, you're able to find your way. And then the question is the rest of the party going with you, or is the rest of the party doing something else?
The rest of the party is not coming with me because I feel like this is something that the rest of the party should not come with me for.
Okay. All right. Well, that decision's made.
I should go into a thieves guild with a bunch of non-thieves. Be like, what's up, peoples?
Yeah. What's up, my clip-clops? These are people that don't belong here.
She's like, I'm gonna go get a pack of smokes. I'll be back.
Yeah. So, what's the rest of the party doing while... well, and then here's the question. Weeben, are you telling the rest of the party what you're doing, or are you just stealthing off?
I am not stealthing off because I want them to know I will be back soon.
Okay.
I was like, hey, can you guys go get me this thing? I gotta go get this other thing, and I'm gonna ask them to like pick up some potions, give them some money for some potions. He's like, can you guys get some potions? I gotta try. I have a friend I want to visit real quick.
Okay. Wow, a considerate rogue. Usually, almost every game, everybody ends up going, "Hey, where'd the rogue go?" So, so you head off towards.
You take the suspicions of what I'm doing right now.
So you head off towards the North Ward. How much money did you give the rest of the party to buy potions?
I gave them.
Keep in mind, a regular health potion costs like 50 gold pieces.
A regular health potion costs 50?
Mm-hmm. And it goes up from there.
It wasn't for potions. It wasn't for potions. Then never mind. I don't know what the fuck I gave money for. Buy some food, guys. Buy some snacks.
Road snacks. Go get some beef jerky.
Provisions. Get provisions.
That's pretty on brand for a halfling, right?
That's true. Pipeweed and food, you know. So you head off.
Yeah.
You head off to the North Ward. Make another investigation check at advantage.
That's better. Both 18.
Okay. So
18.
your investigation, as you're following, you know, your winged snake is way up in the sky and it's heading, you know, through the alleyways, and you're following it so that you can at least keep it within vision. And you're ducking and dodging through alleys, jumping over fences, things like that, going through people's backyard as they've got laundry hanging on lines. And you come out into a street. You see a sign that says this is Castle Lane. And Castle Lane curves and ends in a kind of dead-end courtyard alley. And there is a large warehouse there. And make a perception check.
Let's be perceptive today. Let's be perceptive today. Oh, that went crazy. I'm loving my dice roll crazy, apparently. 27.
Okay. So you see that this is the warehouse for a common shipping company. But you notice that in the insignia is it looks like an anvil, and on the anvil is a sailing ship, and there's a hammer over the sailing ship. And in the hammer is engraved a small winged snake. And out in front of this warehouse, you see that there are two kenku that are, they look, to a casual observer, they would look like they're milling about, loitering. You know that they're lookouts. How would you like to approach this?
I would hope that at this point my snake is probably waiting for my arrival.
Yeah, the snake went into an upper story window, and you have lost sight of the snake. It is inside the warehouse.
Son of a bitch. I was hoping that I could call it back down to me.
Well, I mean, it's a snake. They're not, one, they're not terribly intelligent, and two, I mean, it's intelligent enough to follow commands, but two, it's also lizard brain, so it takes pretty much everything literal, and everything to a snake is going to be black or white. Can I eat this? Is really the question that a snake is going to ask. So,
that went through. Damn it.
You're right.
All right. Well, then I walk up. Would I know any key phrases now that I've made it into the Zen's room? Well, never mind. I'll just use my rogue speak to convey to them that I'm here to meet with the people in that fucking rogue wording stuff.
The Zentrim. So yes, in fact, that is exactly what you needed to do. It would not be wise to just openly ask about the Thieves Guild out in the middle of the street. So yes, Thieves Can't is the way to go. But what are you asking, or what are you saying?
I want to pay my respects to the guild now that I've earned rank. Now that as I've moved up, I want to pay my respects to the guild.
Okay. These two Kenku, they don't really talk a whole lot, mostly because that's the whole deal with Kenku. And so they just go over, you see them knock 3 times, wait, and then knock 2 more times. And the little eye slit opens, and inside you see a third Kenku is on the inside of the door, and they exchange some light conversation, and he shuts it, and then you hear the door get unbarred and open up, and you are led inside. It is a moderate-sized warehouse, and on the base floor, you see that there are stacks and stacks of crates, all of them sealed up, but you immediately notice that almost all of these crates have different shipping logos or insignias on them. So they didn't come from one place, and none of them bear the logo of the sign over the door outside. And in the center of this warehouse, there is a table set up with a couple of chairs, and you see these 2 humans sitting there in black leather armor, and one of the humans, he's got bright red hair and a bushy red beard. He stands up and he says, "Oi, who's this now?" And the Kenku, when he speaks in multiple, like every word is a different accent, and every word sounds like it's coming from a different voice. And he says, "This one's a new member of the guild."
You misspeak, sir. New member, Sorcy. I am new rank in the guild.
And so the redheaded guy says, "Oh, have you come to help with our little tiff with the Zenithar Guild?"
Unfortunately, no. I'm passing through, and I chose to pay my respects along my way.
Make a...
However, I do feel respect is due both ways.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. 21.
Okay. So he says, oh, good. Well, if you've gained the rank of wolf, it's time for you to get your mark. So we'll want to give you your tattoo. And he says, if you're in Waterdeep and you have anything that you need to fence, you can fence it through the Zentrim. For usually when you sell something, you're going to accrue some kind of debt, but especially magic items and whatnot are almost entirely sold on the black market. It's not like you can go into a store and buy wands or +1 swords or whatever. All of that stuff usually is black market, usually ends up going through an auction house of some kind. And so he tells you that if you want to fence it through the Zenithar Guild, you get first pick off the top of anything that goes up for auction, because you're a member of the Zenithar Guild. Or not Zenithar, Zentrim. And having said that you get first pick off the top, you also can purchase that at 10% discount of whatever is up for auction.
Cool.
So if they, let's say there's a flame tongue sword that's up for auction, going for 5,000 gold, you would be able to buy it, for 4,500.
Okay. Good to know. So anywhere that there's Zentrum action, where there's stuff being sold, I can do that.
Right.
Sweet.
So, yeah, he asked you, where would you like your tattoo?
Leg.
Taint.
Taint.
Not the taint. I need somewhere that I can ship without having to completely disrobe.
So, okay, so he said, offers you to have a seat, and he will get started on your tattoo. So that is pretty much the only benefit you're going to get from going to the Zentrum.
Works for me.
But, I mean, that's still a pretty good deal. I mean, considering the price that some of these magic items will go for, that's a pretty good deal.
I was like, I'll take 10% gladly. All right, cool. Tattoo done. We head out the road, right?
Yep. So yeah, you get done with the tattoo. They kind of bandage it and send you on your way.
Cool. How much does poison cost? I want to buy a poison ball and a jump. Just one poison. One basic item.
Well, the Zentrum can sell that to you. Poison is not usually something you can just walk into a shop, apothecary, and buy.
I realize I'm a rogue and poison is probably a good idea to have.
They will sell it to you for basic vial of poison can be sold to you for 90 gold pieces.
Damn it, I'm poor. Nope, never mind.
I'm actually trying. Here we go. So this particular poison, a creature hit by the poisoned weapon or ammunition must make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or take 1d4 poison damage. Once applied, the poison retains potency for 1 minute before drying. So yeah, one vial would be 90 gold pieces.
I'm too poor. Can't do it.
Okay. All right. Why is this being a pain in my ass?
I'm a poor wolf.
So you make the 3-day journey south down to Daggerford. This is the town of Daggerford. Just as a overview of the town. Probably help if I was like, right. But... So, I think Carrie had Orin. But that's okay. So the reason that you are here is that Orin Yogoliv, the halfling bard in Goldenfields, had asked you said that he was spooked by rumors that giants are rampaging throughout the north. He asked you if you would go check on his sister Lily, who works at the Happy Cow Tavern in Daggerford. And he also wants you to deliver a hastily written letter to Lily that lets her know that he's doing fine in Goldenfields, but could she please send him some more money? So, I don't know. This map actually shows quite a bit. But I don't think it shows the Happy Cow.
Nope.
So I do know where the Happy Cow is. The Happy Cow is actually right here on the corner of Duke's Way. You come into Daggerford, and well, everybody make a perception check. Weeben, you can make a perception check with advantage.
Say that again?
Everybody make a perception check, but Weeben can make the perception check with advantage.
Stupid. That's me dirty again.
The Taurus is a 12, and Steve is a 13.
Okay.
I got 11.
17.
What about Scaly?
27.
27. So, Scaly and Weeben, well, all of you, the first thing that you see is that Daggerford, there seems to be quite a bit of commotion in town. You see quite a few people that would not normally be in town. There's just a long stream of them coming in, and it seems like there was either some kind of battle or some calamity. There are refugees coming in from the countryside, and you see this as you're coming in the caravan gate on the west side of town, and this long line of carts and muddy peasants heading in. The thing that Scaly and Weeben notice is that you don't see any regular town militia. It seems like the entire town militia has been replaced by guards in black leather armor. And Weeben, you recognize that these guards are all Zentarim members.
Huh. I would like to casually have part of my tattoo visible as I turn to face something so that they can see it.
Okay, so you're casually showing off this long line of caravans, this long line of refugees at Caravan Gate. It's slow going because the guards at the Caravan Gate are asking people, why are you here? What are you declaring? Blah, blah, blah. You don't have the pox, etc. And as you get to the Caravan Gate, the guards glance at Weeben, and you guys are just let in. You're not checked at all. Where would you like? Where would you like to go? Obviously, you're going to probably want an inn for the night. The Happy Cow Tavern does have rooms for rent.
Well, that's convenient. I wouldn't mind staying there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Weeben, make a history check.
Of course, history. Right on history. Uh, 15.
Okay. So, as a halfling, you know that the Happy Cow Tavern is run by the Hard Cheese family of halflings. But you know that isn't the real family business. That the Hard Cheese family is operating the Happy Cow as a front, basically, for their money lending business. They basically use the tavern to attract new clients. And from what you understand, the Happy Cow breaks even at least, but it's not a huge money maker. So you make your way down Duke's Way to the Happy Tavern, and you step in to the tap room, and It seems like a fairly busy place.
How many happy cows are in there?
Yeah, and hanging over the door is a wooden sign that is shaped like a cow that is smiling.
I mean, I guess that's better than the sad cow.
Right. Isn't that an ice skating trick? The sad cow? Oh, no, that's sow cow. Yeah, right. Which I always thought sounded more like something like Southern Comfort and Milk, but... Which is hideous, but... So you walk in, and there's a busy tap room at the Happy Cow. And I mean, Weeben, you're looking around, you're like, well, this looks like it should be doing more than breaking even, is what your thought is. I mean, there's a lot of people in here. And of course, straight down Duke's Way leads to the ducal castle of Waterdeep. So you're like, just... They're in a prime location. You would think that they would be doing better. Where are you guys just walking up to the bar and asking for rooms and food? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, set to go. I'm hungry. I'm tired.
Okay, and you see this halfling behind the bar. Behind the bar, there's like a little ramp, and she walks up the ramp so that she's tall enough to see over the bar. And she says, "Oh, okay. What can I get you? We've got a full meal. We'll run you 3 silver pieces, and that'll cover your entire party. We don't skimp on the food here."
And I'll slam that money down on the counter hungrily.
She says, would you like some ale, gallons of ale to go with that? 1 gallon of ale is 2 silver pieces.
And 2 more go on the counter.
Okay. So she says, right this way. And she leads you over to a small booth. And Weeben, you recognize, you kind of recognize her from the description Oren gave you. She's small and, I mean, obviously she's halfling, so she's small and plump with, really curly brown hair.
Wait, I got a description of someone?
Well, yeah, I'm picking you because Oren is actually Carrie's NPC, so we're just going to give him to the halfling.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Oh. All right, well, I don't remember what Carrie's mission was here.
So, she matches the description that Oren gave you of Lily. I mean, you don't know that for sure, but that's who you're here to see, and that's the description that he gave you.
Okay, well, then we approach and drop Oren's name. Yeah, a friend of ours told us to swing by here and said that this would be a place worth visiting on our travels.
Oh, really? Would this friend of yours be somebody that I would know?
Depends. Do you know Oren?
Oh, why, yes, he's my brother. He's living up in Golden Fields. How is Oren doing?
How is Oren doing?
He's drunk.
He's better. His town's not under siege.
Oh, well, Oren's usually drunk, but I'm glad to know that he wasn't injured when the town was under siege. Oh, I've heard rumors of all sorts of nasty things rummaging around in the forest, but alas, we kind of have our own problems here.
What kind of problems you got?
She leans forward. She goes, can I trust you?
Oren did.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. She says, I don't know if Oren told you, but I married into the hard cheese family, and so I kind of inherited into the family business. And she says, one of my duties from marrying into the hard cheese family is that I run the Happy Cow Tavern. Now, the hard cheese family makes their money through money lending. But before you look down upon us, keep in mind we're not cutthroat about it. We don't put outrageous interest rates on things, and we don't. If somebody can't pay, we're more than willing to work with them. We don't go out and break their knees because they can't make a payment. She says, but we the hard cheese family actually serves a very good purpose in that not everybody is capable of going to the ducal estate to request a loan or something from the royalty here. So we fill the notch, for the little people, the small farmer that needs, money to purchase seed when there's a blight. He can come to us and we'll loan him the money. Unfortunately, right now, our money lending business is being rubbed out by the Black Network, which the Black Network is the Zentrum.
We're all here, right?
Yeah, you're all there in the Happy Cow.
I'm just eating like disgustingly. That's what my character's doing.
Stuffing food in your mouth. She says that they're cutting out. They're attempting to cut out the hard cheese family entirely by offering interest-free loans around the town. But anybody who fails to pay up, they break their arms. And she says,
have you guys considered giving out a free toaster with each loan?
Have you tried telling people that their loans from the Black Network depreciate by 50% in the first 3 months? So she says, so right now we simply can't compete, and the tavern barely breaks even. The family doesn't know what we're going to do, and it looks like the Zentrum are here to stay.
Have you guys actually talked to them on any level to kind of get a sense of standards between the two of you guys?
She says, we have, but the person that we've been speaking with from the Zentrum doesn't seem interested to help at all. So my question is, you guys have a letter to give to her from Oren.
Yeah.
We should give her a letter.
Okay. So she tells you, she goes, I'll be right back. And she goes back into the kitchen and comes out with a male halfling. And he comes up and introduces himself as Coggin Hard Cheese. And he says, thank you for delivering that letter from Lily's brother. My brother-in-law, he has his troubles. But, we do try to send him money from time to time. But we can't send him money right now unless you would be willing to try and help with this problem with the Black Network.
That I can do, depending on what you're asking exactly.
She said, well, if you could just speak to Nelkin the Snail Daniker. He's an operative that he's staying at the River Shining Tavern and Inn. And if you could just, ask him to back off. You don't have to be violent about it. I'm not going to, argue if you are, but, Nelkin the Snail is kind of a prick, but however you want to deal with it, you don't have to be mean about it.
Yeah, that's a pretty big favor to ask of somebody that you barely know, like, why should we stick our neck out to help you? But you seem like a good guy, but I mean, this isn't exactly like borrowing a cup of sugar.
He says, well, I mean, you're right. You're not under any obligation to help out a family of halflings. But, I mean, I thought that I would ask because Oren thought enough of you to ask you to deliver this letter to us. So I thought maybe you would be helpful further for the family.
I bet Zinquinel would want to help also.
Probably. I don't know though. She's getting more and more mercenary. She might be just as willing to be like, nah, fuck off.
Well, the reason I ask is, well, since you need such a large favor, maybe you wouldn't mind making us small or minority partners, silent partners in your business. I mean, I'm not going to be able to venture through dungeons forever. I need a retirement plan. And you seem like the people to work with.
Ooh, make a persuasion check.
Give me a second. I got a lot full of cats. Oh. Persuasion? Oh, no, that's charisma. I got good persuasion. That's going to be an 18.
Okay. So, Coggin kind of thinks it over and he says, we can go ahead and cut you in for 3% of our money lending profits.
Free room and board when we come to visit town, and you got yourself a deal.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Now you must sign a blood oath. Oh.
I am a warlock after all. So he says, eat, drink, stay the night. You can deal with this in the morning. Thank you so much. And he's shaking Steve's hand and he's patting people on the shoulders. And he seems like he's in a much better mood, like a weight has been lifted from his shoulders. And so you stay at the Happy Cow. The place is adequately named. I mean, the amount of food could probably feed a herd. And they keep bringing you ale, gallons of ale, so you're plied pretty well. Smokey, you realize that one of the reasons why the inn is only breaking even is because they're charging 3 silver pieces for a meal that feeds the entire table, and then not charging each person individually. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But you
can tell them about pricing sensibly. I don't know.
Right? So, hold on here. Sorry, brain farted for a second. Let's see here.
Oh, just so the party's clear, I'm counting us as like all part of that 3%, so that's a group thing.
Okay.
So whenever we get dividends, we'll split it. I mean, we're all doing the mission together. Steve's a dick, but not that big of a dick.
No one's 100% dick.
So the next morning, you wake up, come downstairs, and Lily comes over with your breakfast, and she seems sketchy. Like she's always looking over her shoulder. Everybody make a perception check.
Nat 20.
I must have been hungover. I didn't see shit.
Yeah, Stephen Clitoris didn't see nothing.
So, Smokey and Scaly, you see that there are two fairly rough-looking individuals sitting up at the bar wearing black leather armor, and they are looking over their shoulder at your table.
What are you looking at?
So Smokey yells, "What are you looking at?" And the two of them get up, and Lily quickly delivers your breakfast and beer, and turns around and heads away back into the kitchen. And you can see her looking out the kitchen door to see what's going on. And these two individuals come over and tells you, the guy comes up and he says, "I hear you're looking to speak to the snail."
Did somebody order
Gonna look at Weebin.
So
Weebin?
you look at Weebin.
Yeah, because I don't care. I mean, I don't want to speak to anybody. I don't have very good charisma or intellect, so.
And Weeben says, with all of the calmness, and you're not him.
He looks at you. He looks at Weeben and he says, "Well, you got quite a bit of lip for such a little one. It doesn't matter what your rank is in the organization. Don't get ahead of yourself. The snail wants you to meet him. All of you."
Put salt in my pocket as a precaution.
You do what?
Put salt in my pocket with salting a snail. I don't know.
And the other thug looks at you and goes, "We have orders to bring you to the River Shining Tavern."
I'll get my fist full of pancakes to prepare for the journey.
Syrup dripping out of your fingers. They're at that critical moment where pancake and syrup just turns them into mush.
Yeah.
And just so I'm clear, this is also the same guy we're supposed to talk to about the money lending?
Yeah.
Okay, thought so. Want to make sure it wasn't two different people in the organization.
Two different snails.
So, these two individuals bring you to the River Shining Tavern, which is way down here near the river gate. And this is the layout of the tavern. There for a minute I couldn't remember if I had done anything for this.
Combat.
Well,
That's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing as combat.
possibly. We'll see. So, you guys come into the River Shining Tavern. The two thugs kind of stand outside by the door. And you see, up by the bar, you see... Let me describe this guy here. Let me move you into position here. You see another halfling. He is dressed in all black armor, and he looks up and as he's Daggerford. This is my operation.
We didn't do nothing. You can't prove it.
He says,
You say cause trouble, I say took care of trouble.
He says, yeah, fair. That's fair. He says, I have eyes all over Daggerford. And I saw that you were, you made a visit to the Happy Cow. He says, I don't know what they are asking you to do, but I think I've got something a little bit better. If you hear me out.
Looks like you only got 2 eyes.
He says, if all of you agree and sign a document stating that you will not interfere with the Black Network's Daggerford operation or accept any quests or special commissions from Duchess Morwen Daggerford, I can offer you free room and board at the Silver Shining Tavern and Inn, paid for by the Zentrum. 1 free riding horse or pony to each member of your party, with stable fees in Daggerford paid for by the Zentrum. And ownership of a fortified tower in fair condition that overlooks the Delimber River west of Orlbar.
Oh, damn. Like,
There's a high price to pay. I say to the party, not to him. I say that is a high price to pay to stay out of someone's business.
Right.
Although, is that a lot?
I can see Scaly answering, I don't know.
What would I do with a horse except eat it?
Well, you could eat a little now and store the rest of it in the stable. Come back for more later.
Have a snack and then heal the horse, and then have another snack.
Right?
And heal the horse.
Really, no.
We had a conversation in another game totally about how that would turn you into an evil, aligned character.
Give me just a moment. I will be right back. Once again, I forgot to feed a cat.
Well, I suppose the party should discuss how we want to play this.
yeah, I mean, we have 2 enticing offers on the table.
One of them makes sense, though. This guy, I don't know why he wants to pay us so much.
Well, I think this is more of a bribe to let them do what they're doing.
Bribe is the other way, yeah.
Business.
And a big bribe, that's not like, hey, we're willing to throw you guys some gold, and some free room and board. Like, no, free room and board, horses and stables, and we're going to give you a building,
Yeah, that's
a tower, to stay out of our way. That's like quest winning worthy. Why?
Hmm.
And not take commissions from the Duchess?
Yeah, what's that about? That's pretty weird.
Well, it sounds like a uh, they're having a power struggle, and that's the two sides. That's the whole like don't pay attention to what's going on over here. I mean, Steve's neutral, so he's down with whatever the party deems to be more appropriate. I mean, he just met these people, so that business deal's not exactly concrete hardened yet.
I think we need a tour of said tower so that we can weigh the value of the proposal.
Good point. We could get there and it's all termite infested and shit.
Yeah, we could ask what the deal with the Duchess is. We should probably find out if the Duchess wants anything right now, too, because if she does, maybe she is offering a reward that's better.
What if?
Well, I'm also kind of worried that if we tell this guy no right now, he might try to kill us.
Absolutely will. Like, that's for sure.
Well, let's fight
However-
something. You didn't fight anything last time, and it's like all I'm good at.
I feel like we could kick them out. I could become the head of the Black Network here and work out a deal with the other place where we do a shared business opportunity here, as opposed to a strangle network.
Is
Yeah,
that... Go ahead.
that makes sense, is what I was saying.
Didn't you gain your last rank by killing another Zentrum person?
That's what I was going to ask.
Let's see if
I
that
feel like the Zentrum aren't going to be okay with him completely strangling the town to death to where it's drawing too much attention. But he might be drawing too much attention to the Zentrum here by having the entire town run this way.
Yeah, he was really like over the top with it, I gotta say. Like just having everybody march around and get out zero interest in the slums is very not stealthy at all. So usually they try and cover stuff up a little bit.
I mean, no, I'm not at all selfish in trying to, take over this guy's territory or anything. I also just feel like, maybe his approach is wrong.
I mean, I'm down to start a coup if you want to.
It's weird having only the three of us. Like, I'm used to other voices chiming in on things.
We got four.
Oh, four. Hey, wait, where's your vote? Yeah.
We got
Keep your chairs.
five if you can't put Taurus.
Do we count the Clitoris? I mean, does anybody? Hey.
She would say to do the right thing, I'm sure, as a paladin.
Yeah, she's classified as lawful neutral.
Well, this is definitely not lawful, so.
Yeah, we are very much. I mean, but lawful neutral means like lawful, in terms of order.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Yeah, whatever her code of conduct is.
What
Yeah.
deity do they follow?
She is.
So,
I'm not sure.
just a slight metagame, but I will tell you that you are on the precipice of one of the most exciting possible reveals in D&D 5th edition.
Ooh.
A mystery that has been playing out since 4th edition D&D.
So, what's the butler in the library with the candlestick?
Kind of. So
I'm fairly certain. Sorry.
So what are your...
Like, we want to do the right thing here, but at the same time, I don't know that we have the power to, go to war with the entire Zentrum in this city, but maybe a coup.
So what are your thoughts and questions about what he's offering here? I heard.
Why can't we take back from the Duchess?
Are you just going to ask him why you can't?
Sure.
He tells you, he says, now, you seem like a good, righteous lot. And he kind of winks at Weeben. And he says, I've already informed the Duchess that you're in town. You see, the Black Network has an arrangement with the Duchess. And he says, we don't want that to be interfered with in any way. He says, the Duchess felt that interim would be a better solution to protecting Daggerford than the town militia. Anybody who wants to make an insight check can.
Paladin will. Oh, Paladin rolled a 20.
Damn you, shitty roll.
22 for Clitoris.
Anybody? Wow, Scaly is real high with the insight as well. So, Scaly and Clitoris, you don't... It's not that he's lying, but he's certainly withholding information. That's clearly not the entire story.
Well, I'd imagine somebody of his position is holding a lot of information back.
Well, true. But I mean, you get the feeling like specific information regarding not only this deal, but the arrangement that the Black Network has with the Duchess. Both.
If she was in on it, why would we need to be told not to take jobs from her? Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, Clitoris, you know that, and Scaly to some part knows that Daggerford has had a town militia and has weathered through everything just fine for centuries. And now all of a sudden they feel that they need to hire the Black Network. I mean, the public face of the Zhentarim is that they are sellswords, usually hired out as mercenaries or caravan guards. Most people know that that's bullshit. That's like saying, oh, well, the Teamsters are nothing more than a labor. And nobody would suspect that the mob has anything to do with them. So, I mean, this is the same kind of thing. Everybody knows that there is an underground illicit criminal network here. Nobody can really prove it. But the Zhentarim has spent the last 170 years kind of reinventing their public image.
We're mobsters with a smile.
Right, yeah. It's not like... a lot of the peasantry might believe it, but you certainly do not. So, yeah, the question comes in, one, why would the Duchess hire the Black Network when what she had been doing all these years worked just fine? And two, why would her contract with the Black Network preclude hiring you or even talking to you? I mean, she's technically a duchess. She's technically a duchess, so I don't necessarily know that she would want to talk to you anyways. But you know, if there was a job to be had, this guy, the snail's telling you you're not going to take any jobs.
I want to use my telepathy with the party and him, but not any of his ruffians.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, I think I want to eat him. To the party and to him.
Make an intimidation check.
Well, my charisma's garbage, but I have telepathy. -1.
And so he gets it. He got a 17 on his insight check, and so he just kind of gives a teeth-baring smirk at Scaly, but doesn't say anything.
Well, I can return the teeth bearing.
My normal smile. Command. And he tells the dog to smile, and it's like this horrific the dog like peeling its lips back like it's gonna growl and eat you. So yeah, he's not intimidated. He finds your under I'm gonna say underhanded. It's not really underhanded, it was kind of direct. He finds your threat to be laughable. What do you guys want to do here? I mean, you've got a couple of options. You could, I mean, I don't know. Tell me what you want to do, and then if we're lost here, I can give you a couple of options that would be obvious. I mean, I think they would be obvious.
The big question is, do we go with a little bit of money and help the little guy out, or do we basically sell out and go like evil corporation?
Or we could have
Kill them all and take everything over?
we even try and take over another chapter of a thing.
Well, I would tell you, Smokey's more closely kind of on the right track. Clitaris and Scaly don't see this as being so black and white. As, do we help the little guy or do we go in league with the Mafia? Because the fact of the matter is that whatever the Black Network is doing and trying to cover up might be solving a bigger injustice than just helping the Happy Cow Tavern and the Hard Cheese family.
Yeah, I also wonder what the deal is specifically with the Duchess, since we didn't get the answer all the way.
Well,
So
there are a couple of paths. I mean, of course, obviously, you could just say yes or no, and we could deal with the ramifications of that. And either way, this could theoretically develop more, no matter which direction. But if you have questions about that, what you could do is just go knock on the castle gates and ask for an audience with the Duchess and say, hey, what the fuck? Why don't you want anything to do with us? That's an option.
Thinking that if we could, do you guys think that just talking amongst us, I'll use my message cantrip. Do you guys want to ask him if we have to answer this now, or can we take a day and overlook our options? Is this something we have to do now?
He says,
Absolutely, that's a big ask, and I'm not thinking about it right away, yeah.
He says, I will give you a day to consider your options. He says, I personally don't see that there are any options there to be had, but I'll give you a day as long as you agree that you won't interfere with our current operations until you've made a decision, and then we can all decide how we're going to deal with that.
Maybe you can't see the options because you're short.
He laughs. He goes, "Oh, you got a bugbear with a cheeky sense of humor." Yeah. And he kind of pulls out a dagger and he picks at his teeth. He goes, "Be a shame if I were to carve that face off."
Now, let's wait until tomorrow before we have any hard feelings. We might have a business relationship here.
I have an intelligence of -1. I'm just gonna be like, well, I just thought they might be up really high.
It's one thing to be dumb. It's another thing to play dumb when you are dumb. Now you're just being a jerk.
I'm the one that just said I want to eat him, so.
Yeah.
So.
But that was silly. Let's go talk to the Duchess. I want to see her deal, or if she's kidnapped or what.
Okay. So you leave the River Shining Tavern. I'll just leave those tunes there. We'll go back over here to this map. And as you can see, the ducal castle is right outside the castle gate is the temple to Lathander, the Morning Lord. And everybody make a history check.
Yes. 14.
That's pretty good.
The tourist can't remember nothing, and Steve got a 13.
I got a soft one because of that -1.
Well, at least it's not in the negatives. Scaly is the only one that got it with a 15. Scaly, you remember hearing some years back, and it specifically involved this Temple of Lathander, that there was a party of adventurers that were hired by Morwen Daggerford to do a werewolf hunt because the town of Daggerford was being harassed by werewolves. And those adventurers, from everything that you understand, simply disappeared. Nobody ever found, did they succeed? Did they not succeed? You know that the werewolf attack stopped, but these adventurers were not heard from again, and nobody ever found their bodies.
I will share that recollection and wonder if anyone went to look for the bodies.
That's a really good question. So, does anybody want to stop at Lathander's temple before going in, or trying to enter the keep?
Sure. I'll stop in and check it out.
You go into Lathander's temple, and there are stained glass windows. The entire layout of this round temple is to allow in the morning sunlight. And there are stained glass windows all around that are depicting images and basically a kind of a story of how Lathander, the Morning Lord, split away from Aminator, the god of the sun, and became more or less his own thing. Worshippers of Lathander insist that Lathander is his own god. There are other schools of thought thinking that Lathander is simply an aspect of Aminator. But this temple clearly is, no, Lathander's his own thing. Fuck off with that whole Avatar shit. And the at the end there's an altar where a priest of Lathander will give out his sermon for the day. You see that there is a white-robed priest kind of behind the altar, tidying up and sweeping, but sitting or on his knees in front of the altar, you see an old knight. And he's on he's kneeling before the altar with his sword, quietly mumbling prayer.
Do you guys ever find those bodies?
The old knight.
Hold on, I got food at my door. I'll be right back, but continue.
The temple was quiet, but now it seems more silent. The priest at the back has stopped sweeping and is looking at you guys, like almost like a look of horror on his face, like what the hell? And the old knight kind of leans and looks over his shoulder, and you notice that on the ground is a long. It seems like it would be a staff, but it's too short. And he grabs it and he forces himself up on it, and he sheathes his sword and he walks with a limp. And he says, what bodies would you be referring to, my good bugbear?"
We tell him Scaly, because he's the one who remembered, and he'll tell us the tale once more, I assume.
He says, "Oh, yes, that was a terrible time." He says, "Nobody really knows what happened to those adventurers. It seems like they simply disappeared. We did do a search, but alas, nothing was found." Oh, I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sir Istival. And he holds out a gauntleted hand to whoever wants to shake his hand.
And I'll say, "See, Scaly, you will have to buy lunch." And then I'll shake his hand.
He says, he shakes your hand and he says, "Oh, your folk don't usually come into town very much. I'm pleased to meet you."
Yeah, they're usually smarter than that.
He says, "In this case, you may be correct. Things are very strange around town lately."
Where's the Duchess?
He says, and see, that's part of the strange part. I mean, normally Duchess Morwyn is more than happy to go out for walks. She's one of the most approachable royals that I've ever met in my life. But oddly enough, for the past several months, she's been locked up in the castle. I haven't seen her in weeks. And I am the captain of the guard. Or not the captain of the guard. I am the trainer for the militia. And it seems that currently I'm out of work. She's not training any new militia. She's decided instead to hire the Zentrim to be the town guard for the entire town of Daggerford.
Did they send her? She hasn't seen her in weeks, or was that the last thing they talked about?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So did she fire him to his face or send him like a letter?
She didn't really send anybody a letter. She just made a proclamation, and the Zentrim were hired. The Zentrim actually passed word around that the town guard was no longer needed.
Well, we're going to go visit the Duchess, so if you want to air your grievances, it might be a good time.
He says, "Well, if you're able to get a meeting with her, good luck."
Almost sounds like this chick's been mesmerized, telling her something.
Or threatened, or I don't know. Hard to say. But we'll try.
Hold on just a second here. I'm trying to find a name.
I mean, they could have gone Invasion of the Body Snatchers and brought in a changeling.
Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. He tells you, he says, there's another royal visiting the ducal castle presently. Why am I not able to find this? This is very odd. Hold on.
Use Control F.
I know it'll find it. If you hold down Alt and F4, that will...
So you're reading a book, right? Like, I can't,
Oh, he tells you that presently that staying at the ducal castle is Baroness Wynne Crom of Crom's Hold is presently staying at the castle, and he says that he saw her arrive, and she seemed to be in quite the hurry to speak with Duchess Morwen. She seemed quite perturbed about something, but she's been here for the past 2 days. She's the only one that's been allowed inside the ducal castle itself. He says, even me and Morwen's court have not been allowed inside. How do you guys want to handle this? Do you want to try knocking on the ducal castle anyways? What do you want to do?
Something ain't right.
You are like you're like right on the edge of a great discovery, and it's like taking everything inside of me to not accidentally tip the tip the scales and give you too much information.
I mean, I say go talk to the Duchess before we give that guy an answer. Like, when you go up to the gate, you just fly, hey, we got a 2 o'clock appointment. They're all carrying on him, like, let me in. I have an appointment.
You know what? I want to, like, see if maybe my Zentrum poll lets me, like, get in, like, I was told to come meet with her and bring my friends along.
Yeah, don't you have your tank tattoo now you can show them?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I also have the invisibility spell, and with flying, I could go look all over the place, see what's going on.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out for the party if they want me to do some recon before we proceed in.
And I have a broom I can fly up over the walls or into the tower or anything.
Interesting idea.
I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm looking for...
We never know what to do. That's why we got this far.
That's right. We make it up as we go. That's why we're so successful. Hold on here. Oh. Interesting that they have their own thing, but whatever. Really? Okay. So, somebody wants to... I don't know. What was your plan? Somebody was going to go invisible. Somebody was going to fly on a broom.
Oh, that was just throwing. That wasn't a plan. That was just a throw out if we won.
Okay.
Yeah, the devil can fly and turn invisible, and I can use my broom and go up high, so maybe no one sees me.
Okay.
I can turn you invisible if you want to do this lookout. That doesn't have to necessarily be on me.
Well, who has better invisibility looking skills? Who's got better perception?
I have crap for perception. I have a +0.
I have a +7. Wisdom gets me better perception, but I'm also a lizard folk who tend to eat anybody I find.
True. Although eating people, you might be deterred from that by flying. So, it's like Weight Watchers for lizard folk.
Should we just go knock and be bold and then see what happens after that?
Yeah, let's knock and be bold, and if it doesn't get us anything, then we can do the flying around, look inside thing.
Okay. So you leave the Temple of the Thander and you go up to the Ducal Castle is actually right here. And think in this case the castle is walled in and of itself. So it is a keep, but the castle itself is more like Downton Abbey than it would be, like King Ludwig's castle. It's more like a stately manor type house or castle as opposed to brick and mortar, as opposed to the wall. It does have towers on all corners. This area inside is the royal gardens. And so you get to the front gate here leading into the royal gardens. Weeben, make a persuasion check. And what are you stating? I mean, are you showing your tattoo and stating that you want to meet with the Dutch? What do you want to do?
I'm going to show the tattoo and say that I was asked to be an envoy to the Duchess on behalf of interested parties.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Son of a... All these damn twos. Like, I wish I would roll a 1 instead of a 2 sometimes. I could at least re-roll it.
Right. What, did you roll 2 2s?
No, I rolled a 2 and a 7.
Ugh.
You said persuasion?
Yes.
13.
He's like, he looks at you and goes, welcome, brother, but the Duchess isn't seeing anybody right now. Sorry.
Can I roll an intimidation following that and like puff out my wings and go, are you sure about that?
Sure.
Wait, before you do that, I gotta ask why this place is so much fancier.
Than the rest of the town? Well, I mean, because it's the ducal estate. I mean...
And Smokey goes, oh!
Yeah, these are royals.
That was just you in character being like, why are they so fancy here?
This building seems bigger than the other one.
I mean, Daggerford's not like a shitty town in any way. Of course, you get over more towards the river gate. It does stink to high hell down there because that is where the tannery is. So the entire area smells like boiled urine.
Ooh,
yeah.
spicy.
So River Shining Tavern and Inn, even with the free room and board, is not really your favorite place to stay.
So
Yeah.
that's my stupid question, and then Steve intimidates.
It would be like staying at the Golden Knight Motel on Powell in Gresham. Like, yeah, so I can stay there for free, and I get free food from Polar King, that's not really a selling point. You know?
Well, Steve rolled a 17 on Intimidate.
So you bring out your wings, and the first guy that was talking to you, you see him kind of turn pale, and the other one looks at him and goes, "Oh shit, it's another one."
Another what?
You know, you people.
I just say, like, with a gut instinct, yes, it is.
And he goes, and they kind of mumble to each other. He says, and the first guy goes, "Sorry, I didn't mean an offense, but really, the Duchess is not seeing anybody, you know, but..."
You should go home.
He says, he looks at Weeben and he goes, "I don't know what would happen if I went and tried to press the issue."
This is where the winged one should go. I think you know what will happen if you don't press the issue.
Make an intimidation check.
Who's it doing this right? To me, or is it?
It would be you, and you can roll it with advantage.
Okay. All right. You said intimidation. It's 19.
He says, "All right, come inside, wait here in the gardens, and I'll go see what I can. I'll go see what I can do."
We go inside. We don't wait in the gardens.
Well, these are the gardens in here, and he goes to the front gate, and he opens the door like just wide enough for him to step inside, and shuts the door, and you hear it barred. You hear a big bar go clunk, and he's inside now. The other guard says, Don't worry. He'll be back in just a moment. No need for anybody to get angry or anything."
Patience is not our strong suit.
Yeah, this guy likes to eat people. And I point to our guy.
I'll give him a nice big smile.
Like, I'm not even the one you got to worry about.
After a couple of moments, you can hear the bar lift from the front gate, and these large, they're like 12 feet tall French double doors open up. And the French double doors, they've got glass windows at the top, but they're stained glass, depicting images of of the original founding member of Daggerford, the original Duke. And he steps in, or the guard steps out, and he says, "All right, you'll be seen," is what he says. He says, "Come with me."
Good. Now put my wings back.
So you step inside. He leads you to a large sitting room. You've been in a royal estate before. This is very similar to the room that you guys went into in Waterdeep. I mean, this quote unquote sitting room is enormous. There are at least 13 couches in here. There's probably a good 20 chair, very plush velvet, rolled velvet and brass chairs sitting around. There's a fireplace that is big enough for Cletaris to stand upright in all of her armor inside the fireplace itself. I mean, the place is just enormous. And there are numerous little mini bars all around that have, decanters of different liquors, and on the second shelf there are glasses. There are numerous places around that have pipe stands that have 12 pipes in them. Some of them seem to be scrimshaw pipes that are imported all the way from Icewind Dale. There are little canisters of pipe weed sitting around. And he leads you in, and he goes, all right, just wait here. I have someplace I have to be. And he shuts the door in a hurry and runs away. Like, he does not want to be here. And you're left in this room by yourself. I'm sorry, what was your question?
How high is the ceiling in here?
It is impressive at 15 feet. And the ceiling is actually a mosaic painted on the ceiling that is bifurcated into squares on the ceiling with like a white palisade across the mural. And there are chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. It is an impressive place.
I will jump on the broom and ride up and hide up above one of the chandeliers, hoping to diminish line of sight to me.
Okay, it's a chandelier. Go ahead and make a stealth check at disadvantage.
Do you want me to hit you with the invisibility?
Not necessarily. This will be funnier. 18.
What? With disadvantage, you got an 18? Holy shit!
No, sorry. The 9 is with disadvantage. I was in
okay.
old mode of.
I was like, whew. I was like,
I don't
holy.
roll disadvantage very often, so I was a little off my beat. 9.
Okay, so you're. You guys look at Scaly, and he jumps on his broom and he flies up, and he's like trying to make himself as small as he can, hiding behind a chain on the ceiling while sitting on his broom. Like, you can't see me. He's basically hidden amongst the clear crystal beads that are hanging from the chandelier.
That's why it's funnier than being invisible.
But, Scaly, you can make a Arcana check with advantage.
Also something I don't have good numbers in, but let's see what that is. Both are a 5.
Okay, well, the only thing that you notice is that these candles look very old. So these chandeliers actually have candles in them. You don't see a mechanism for lowering the chandeliers to be lit. So either the help comes in with ladders and lights these candles, or the candles themselves may be magic. You can't tell which, but the candles, they look like they're half burnt, and then you assume that they're burnt every night, but they have dust on them.
Mm.
The chandelier's a polymorph dragon.
It's a mimic chandelier.
It's a mimic chandelier, yes. God, my Friday night group, I had them terrified of mimics. Like, every room they went into, they're like, there's a mimic in here. We know it. And I had never used a mimic on them, ever. And then finally, when I did use a mimic, they were surprised. So Scaly's up there hilariously trying to hide. What are the rest of you doing? Like I said, there's pipes, there's different brandies, whiskeys, some clear liquor in a bottle.
Steve will go look at the collection of pipes and compare them to his own little crappy cheap pipe.
These are way fancier. Most of the pipes are a type of carved briar, but there are many that are scrimshaw pipes. Scrimshaw is made from knucklehead trout bones, and these pipes are actually carved scrimshaw pipes. They depict sailing ships or waves that are breaking waves. One is carved to look like a sperm whale. And all of these are just beautiful works of art. One of these pipes would easily sell in Waterdeep for 1,000 gold pieces, just for the artwork alone.
Is anybody else in the room with us, or is it just us right now?
It's just you right now.
Yeah, Steve's going to switch out his pipe, put it in the spot where the other one was, and pick out a nice one and just kind of try to slip it in his pocket.
Okay. So you're in here. I mean, there's a wine rack. There's numerous books on shelves for anybody who wants to look through the library part of it.
Are there any picture books?
Smokey, make an investigation check.
God, I'm all my garbage. I got 6.
You do find a picture book, but you have no idea what. I mean, it's not necessarily a picture book. There's a lot of writing, but there's a lot of sketches in it, and the pictures are really scary. They're showing like.
Someone to read it to me.
Are you asking for somebody to read it to you? I mean, Steve's probably the most learned among you.
Steve, read me a story. I'll drink a bunch of booze.
Yeah, you find a wine rack that's got some really expensive fine wine bottle. There's no bottle of wine in here that's worth less than 10 gold pieces a bottle.
And I'll give Steve the book, though, because I do want to know what's in the scary book.
So, Steve, make an Arcana check.
Make a literacy check. Can you read? I probably could, but don't want to.
Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe I can't. I'm not really sure.
Are you with us, Steve?
Steve! While Steve's trying to figure out if Steve's here, do I see anything that seems particularly worth stealing?
Everything.
90% of the room? Like,
What's the
Something like, that's what I'm saying. Among all this wealth, there's just something that really catches my eye.
make an investigation check.
So knowledge. Investigation 8. No.
You find the weirdest thing ever. You find that next to the fireplace, which has a roaring fire in it, keep in mind it is winter, there is a full set of fireplace tools that seem to be made out of carved mammoth tusks with iron fittings. The full set, like if you were to take just the poker, it's probably, just for artwork value alone, it's probably worth 100 gold pieces, but the full set would be easily worth 2,500 gold. Even the stand, the stand itself seems to be carved from mammoth tusk.
Steve could carry a lot of stuff, right?
Well, I'm huge. You could just scrap me.
Hey, Piper, look at these cool things I found.
Are bugbears large or are they medium?
I thought it was pretty tall.
I think they're still a medium, but yeah, you're probably still like 7.5 feet tall.
Yeah, 7 feet and 400 pounds sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you tell me it's free, I'll probably just pick it up.
So where this room is on this corner of the ducal castle. Steve, are you back with us?
Yeah, I just got back. Sorry.
No problem. Make an Arcana check. Smokey handed you the book with the scary pictures in it and wants you to read her a story.
Oh shit, I rolled. So what's my Arcana? 21.
So the first thing that you notice about this book, she has it open, to this scary sketch drawing of what appears to be demons and devils engaged in the blood war in Avernus.
Nice.
The text on the left page is all in Infernal.
I speak Infernal.
So it tells exactly that. The story of how Asmodeus and Zariel, Zariel being a fallen angel, are fighting this grand war to keep, and it makes it sound like the devils are actually doing the world a favor, because they're the ones that are keeping the demons from the abyss from spilling over into the prime material plane. It would be like if there was a book of Lucifer in the Bible, where it's basically Asmodeus is describing their position as, look, we're not really that bad. I mean, you might look at us as the prime evil, but the fact of the matter is that we're protecting the prime material plane by not letting these chaotic assholes bust over out of the abyss and take over your entire world.
We're a necessary evil.
We're a necessary evil. And the fact is that as devils, we give the prime material plane, anybody that we pull in, we give them the choice. They make the choice whether they want to do it or not. It's kind of the direction that this book is going. But it's about devils, specifically Asmodeus and Zariel.
Is that true, Steve? Do you know?
Oh, in my case, it's more of don't piss off a dragon, but sure, that's what the book says.
Do you take like any kind of disadvantage for getting trashed here?
I don't know. So, Smokey, you're drinking, I assume you're drinking a bottle of wine. You probably just didn't bother with a glass. You just grabbed and uncorked a bottle. I don't know. Are the rest of you drinking and smoking? I don't know if Steve's smoking his pipe. I know he pocketed one.
Steve will smoke on his pipe as he's telling this nice bedtime story.
Okay. So, Steve, you can write down that you have acquired a 500 gold piece scrimshaw pipe. Also,
It's been in my family for generations.
Also, you learn, so this particular pipe is carved to look like the ocean, like a wave breaking on the shore. And you learn that this pipe is actually magical. It is a pipe of smoking.
Nice.
And what you can do with a pipe of smoking is that 3 times a day, you can do smoke tricks, which instead of just blowing a ring, you can basically blow out a shape of anything that you imagine. If you want it to look like a dragon, you can blow a dragon and it'll look like it flies through the air, or you can blow a sailing ship, or whatever you want. It's the most useless magic item next to a cape of billowing.
Sorry, you said if you blow a dragon, you can do it.
And Weebin's wanting to steal the fireplace tools. Do you guys have a bag of holding?
Shit, I don't think so.
I don't think you've gotten one yet.
No.
Don't we have a handy spice sack for flavoring, but we don't have a proper bag of holding?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to dinner time, that bag of spice holding is more important than the bag of holding.
We can start a fake spice trade just because we can pull out any spice we'd like from that thing.
Right.
Fake any number of Silk Road proponents with exotic spices because we can produce them on demand once a day.
Well, fuck, saffron's hella expensive.
Yeah.
True.
So, I mean, So Weeben is trying to figure out how he can steal these fireplace tools, because fireplace tools aren't small, and you're not going to be able to fit them in your pack without them sticking out the edge. So, you're like sitting there like, how can we do this? And as you're discussing how you can do this, the doors to the sitting room open up, and you see this woman step in. She has black raven dark hair that is kind of done up in almost like a Bride of Frankenstein style. And she's wearing a black dress with a lot of lace, with a white undergarment. And she's kind of tall. She's about 5'9", and she elegantly dressed. She's got the refinery, the jewels and whatnot. It's clear that she's somebody important. And she steps in and she says, "I apologize. My name is Baroness Wynne. Duchess Morwyn Daggerford is unavailable. What can I help you all with?"
Why is this place so fancy anyway?
Well, it has been in the Daggerford family for many years. I am actually the cousin of the Daggerford estate. But I'm not here to answer questions. I would like to know why you are here.
Our good old friend Snailtrail told us we should come say hi.
Make a deception check.
24.
She says, "Really? And she looks at Weeben, who's still... Weeben at this point, I imagine, is casually standing with one hand on one of the fireplace pokers, like, what? I wasn't doing anything. And she looks at Weeben, and he's got his pants up, like, kind of cinched at the knee, so that his Zentrum tattoo on his calf kind of shows. And she's like, I find that difficult to believe, but not entirely impossible. The snail isn't really that bright."
The snail isn't, but we are.
She says,
Well, we, the collective, not that thing.
she says, well, currently the castle, the estate does not have any pressing needs that would require hiring adventurers. She says, however, you might be able to assist me. She says, I of course would be willing to pay you and a worthy sum for what I'm asking. But you see, I am actually the landholder for Crom's Hold. And Crom's Hold is in the Lizard Marsh. We are the last bastion against the encroachment of lizard folk and their kind, bullywugs and whatnot. She looks at Scaly and she says, "No offense, but your kind is kind of a pain in my ass."
So is yours.
She smiles and nods. She goes, I can see that point of view. She says, but Crom's Hold has been dealing with this for centuries. And it has fallen on me, my family duty, to control Crom's Hold and prevent the overtaking of civilization as we know it by these barbaric forces. She says, however, in the past 2 weeks ago, Crom's Hold was attacked by a black dragon.
Wow.
I would be willing to pay a good amount for somebody to deal with this black dragon.
Is he ill-tempered?
Well, he's a black dragon. So she looks at Scaly and she says, he is ill-tempered, he's a black dragon, and his words spit venom.
I think, well, I don't know. There's no way we're tough enough for that. Not yet.
Well, what age dragon? Do they say a little dragon? A big angry dragon?
She says,
Dragon, like baby.
She says that she was there during the attack, and she estimates that it is a young black dragon.
So, like, size of a horse?
Oh no, it's bigger than that. Young black dragon. A young black dragon is big enough that it can fly with a rider.
So that's what I was trying to, like, what size?
So a young black dragon. I wouldn't say the size of a horse. I would say maybe twice the size of a horse, but then imagine the wingspan on that.
Like a little bit bigger than a Clydesdale horse?
Yeah. If you want to count a Clydesdale, then yes.
That's. I think we could take that. That's not too bad. If it was ancient dragon, we'd be like, oh shit.
Here's
small amount.
something interesting that I heard about the other day. So there's a historian on YouTube called the Metatron. He does some amazing stuff, and he really knows his shit. And he was talking about medieval war horses and what knights actually rode into combat. And all this time, we were kind of assuming that, oh, well, like the Clydesdale was actually not just a workhorse. It was actually, a war horse. This is what the destriers were like, and that this is what knights rode on. That is completely incorrect. Knights, especially in jousting tournaments, rode on a horse that was not like a full-size horse today. It was like maybe a little bit bigger than a pony. And he was talking about, he's like, what they rode on with all that armor and whatnot actually would look quite silly. It would be like somebody dressed in full armor riding one of those robotic horses out in front of a grocery store. But, side point. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to imagine, a dragon about twice the size of a Clydesdale with, a 40-foot wingspan, then yes.
I kind of hold up a finger to them. Just like, hold on one second. I kind of pull everybody into like a small huddle. Well, come here. So we were told not to take an order from the Duchess. She's not the Duchess, so can we take missions from her? Like, is that a loophole we can do? Like, what do you got?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's not the Duchess.
Also, we didn't say yes yet, so we've got that whole day of deciding.
So that's what I mean, like, how do you guys want to play this?
If we take this mission, even if it does fall under the stuff we weren't supposed to do, we agreed to it beforehand. So, I mean, at this point, we're just honor bound to finish up what we said we'd do.
And does it really interfere with their business if we do?
No, because it wouldn't even. So, to answer your question, it wouldn't interfere with anything going on Daggerford because this mission from Baroness Crom, or Baroness Wynn, is at Crom's Hold, which is in the Lizard Marsh. And I can show you where that is. Hold on here. I think I can show you where that is.
Get an answer by tomorrow.
Yeah, we could just leave. We'll come back next week.
That's true. Like we left. Sorry, you wanted an answer tomorrow. We weren't here tomorrow.
So, this is the Lizard Marsh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's very close. It's not far away.
Haley, do you know anybody there?
I probably have family, but that's why I left.
I don't want to see them.
What does Scaly remember from marsh relations? I mean, are we used to interacting with black dragons? Would they be a threat to the lizard marsh as well?
So what Scaly would remember, and you know this without a roll. So I don't know enough about, and this is my bad as DM. I should know this, but Scaly, I don't know if your background, if you came from the Lizard Marsh. I mean,
there was a elf merchant that got stranded near our swamp, and I ended up deciding that would be a really great thing to be, an elf merchant. So that's why I left.
So Lizard Marsh is your home.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you know a lot about what's going on down there. You know that there is you not necessarily the tribe that you came from, but there are numerous tribes of lizard folk in that area and bullywugs that all venerate a black dragon named Vaxilier in the Lizard Marsh. And pretty much the lizard folk, they kind of worship him as a god, but not quite to the extent that, like, you know, kobolds do. There are also kobolds in the area, and they act like a go-between between the dragon and the lizard folk. The lizard folk more or less venerate Vaxilier as a god, but at the same time, they don't ever get to talk to Vaxilier. They are passed messages and orders by the kobolds, and the kobolds seem like they worship Vaxilier, but at the same time they're terrified of him. Like if they give the wrong information, they're going to get eaten, which is not uncommon. So you are fully aware that this is a situation down there. Your particular tribe had bigger issues with the bullywugs, and your tribe was at war with the bullywugs in the Lizard Marsh as a whole. There's also been some rumors that there might be a Yuan-Ti temple down there, but nobody, including your tribe, they haven't been able to confirm that, and you think that that's all pretty much bullshit. You think that your estimation would be that it is an attempt by Vaxilier and the kobolds under Vaxilier to try and pull in the remaining lizard folk tribes and the bullywugs kind of in a solidarity movement to fight the big bad Yuan-Ti.
Yeah.
So there's an entire political power struggle in and of itself going on in the Lizard Marsh that doesn't even involve Crom's Hold. And so you're a little bit surprised that Vaxilier, who your people have never seen, but you've seen the dragon fly overhead and move through the marsh. You've never had an audience with Vaxilier. And it seems that Vexler keeps a low profile, so you find it a little bit strange that Vexler all of a sudden decided that he's going to assault a keep, a castle in the middle of the marsh. Which, this isn't the first castle. The first one sank into the marsh. The second one sank into the marsh. The third one sank and caught fire and went into the marsh. But this is the fourth one, and it stayed up.
Maybe.
One thing about role-playing games, here's something that I've learned. So here's something I've learned about role-playing games. This is Traveler is sci-fi and D&D is fantasy. It doesn't matter. You always end up in a sewer. You always end up in a swamp. Sooner or later, everybody's going to be in a sewer or a swamp. So, yeah, there's this whole political thing, infighting with the tribes going on in the Lizard Marsh, and you find it a little strange that Vexler would just come out of nowhere and attack this keep. There must be something behind that.
I will relate that information in broadcast telepathy only to the party.
Okay.
To give them context to what it might be Vexler. It sounds like, but not characteristic of the history that's gone on there. But sure, we can go have a look at a black dragon. He's probably not doing the region any good.
Need a new pair of boots.
Yes. I need a new set of scale armor. So, I don't know. What do you guys decide? Are you taking her offer? Or are you negotiating further?
I don't really believe her for some reason. I'm not very smart, but there's something in my gut that says this is weird.
Smokey, make an insight check.
Eight.
So you're like,
I definitely don't trust her because she's rich, by the way.
well, yeah, nobody trusts rich people. So,
Especially my character. My character is like absolutely against the rich.
so Smokey, you're like,
Maybe
you probably don't say it out loud, but you're thinking, you're like, I get what she's putting down, but this smells like shit, and I can't quite put my finger on what about it is wrong. But it doesn't feel right.
Oh, that's just a trip and digging it nails into my back.
Yes, the Tristram's on your shoulder making biscuits.
I thought maybe they were like freaked out. Maybe they can tell something's wrong.
Steve will whisper to the party very quietly, like, "Damn, I've been dealt with this much drama since high school."
I know, right? We're getting into some serious role play here. Actually, I'm really proud of you guys. You're doing so well. I love role play. I do get worn out on the games where it's like, okay, here's a combat, and here's a combat, and here's a combat, and here, because I feel lazy as a DM. But some games are just like that. But you guys are doing really well. So she she looks up at the ceiling, and she goes, she's looking at Scaly, and Scaly hasn't made any attempts to continue his concealment. He's spoken out loud. And so she's like, why is your lizard folk up by the ceiling?
I don't know, man. He's got issues.
Because I can fly.
You need to dust up here.
Why not, I guess.
And she goes, she looks at Scaly and she goes, I know your kind is a little bit primitive. Here, look at this. And she claps her hands like she's got the clapper, and all of the candles light on the chandeliers.
Ooh.
What's the chain holding the chandelier made of?
Iron. It's not spectacular.
Mm.
But I
I
mean,
don't have-
it's big. Like each link is like, 5 inches long. This is not a small chandelier. And there's 3 of these things in this room. So
I was just trying to think if I had a silly druid spell that would cut the chain and make it fall to the floor or darken the chandelier again, but druids don't have those sorts of things.
Carrie cracked me up the other night. She's like, we're having this role play mode. So my Wednesday night game has gotten to the point where Carrie will send private messages to Cameron trying to discuss what their plan is so that I don't hear about it. And you know what? I'm so proud that I've actually created a group that is in that level of conspiracy. That's like the highlight of DMing is when your players try to conspire behind your back. It's so Carrie is like, she made the comment, because she can always see me on video, and she goes, well, I always know when he's conspiring to do something at Dank says because he starts stroking his beard. So there's these 3 huge chandeliers, and when I say huge, like they kind of go in like a diamond pattern as far as the rings that are holding the crystal baubles, and the widest point of these is like 10 feet in diameter. They're big chandeliers, and there's 3 of these across the ceiling with like 20 feet in between them. So, and she just looks up at Scaly, who was attempting to hide, and she's like, whatever. Lizard folk are so weird.
I would have put up there, but Scaly not so much.
So she wants to know, she's like, should we discuss recompense for this quest?
Reckon what?
She looks at Smug and she goes, payment.
Oh. All right.
We're not paying you.
No, we're not paying you.
Baroness Wynn kind of holds her head like she's getting a headache, and she goes, no, what I'm going to pay you to deal with this black dragon.
I'm gonna look around the room.
She says, before you make up your mind, she says, I will pay each of you, each member of this party, 500 gold pieces. Your party as a whole will get pick of 3 items out of a chest in Crom's hold that keeps magic items that I have. They're family heirlooms. And she says, and I will grant you ownership of a tower.
But my work
Give her the tower too?
It is the same tower. It's a fortified tower and she says, in fair condition, that overlooks the Delimbra River. It's the same tower that the Zentrim are offering.
Well, they're both offering the tower. Who actually owns the tower?
Let's go look at it. Haley wanted to look at it first.
You want to go investigate the tower before you accept?
Yeah, if
They're gonna give us a tower.
it's got a nice swamp view, I'm all for it.
Well, and also with the Black Dragon, more than likely they got a little hoard of something we can rifle through.
True.
Yeah, I want to see the tower.
Okay. So is everybody in agreement that you want to go see the tower before accepting?
Yes.
So
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
she shows you a map and how to get to this said tower. Hold on here. Wow, their details on the tower is one paragraph. 1, 2, 3 sentences. So, hold on to your hats while I wing this. Thanks, Chris Perkins, for, detailing this information for a fucking book that I paid $60 for. I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of joking. I mean, there is some DM agency. So it takes you about a day, and you come to this tower. Hold on here. I got to put you on the map. So I never put you guys on the map because I don't necessarily know that you're going to do what I want you to do. So I kind of want to, keep things a little bit open. If that makes sense.
Comes with butlers.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, when you get into role play like this, I don't ever have an idea what you're going to do. So...
That's okay. I don't think we do either.
Right. Well, yeah. And I mean, you get into role play like this and you start getting into, improvisation. And so you have to, as a DM, it can be a little bit hard because you have to kind of think about all of the options, but at the same time, you have to leave your options open.
Well, especially the more of a gray situation it is.
Right. So, you guys come to this area. This is exactly what you see. Now, this here is a 20-foot, 20-foot embankment. And at the top, you see that there is this, and she said, you were told that the tower is in fair condition. That's a liberal use of the word fair. But around the tower, you see 5 stone giants that are taking stones from this tower, and then they appear to be just randomly placing them around the field. Like they're dismantling the tower and then just being like, oh, well, this stone belongs over here. And they cover it up and they put some grass on it. And okay, that's normal. And they just keep doing that. And they are in the process of dismantling this tower.
It's like the worst case of Jenga.
Right. And the stone giants.
You said 5?
Yes. 1, 2.
Well, we probably only see 5. One's probably behind the tower.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 6. There's 6 giants. My bad.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. Thanks, Weeben. Hold on. But a moment. Does anybody speak giant?
No.
Anybody? Nobody?
If the giants speak common, I can use telepathy with them, but it's one way. I can just tell them things.
Well, I was actually wondering if you speak giant, if you knew anything about stone giants, and it seems that you do not. Here we go. But the stone giants see you coming towards them, and they immediately stop and look like they're going to get ready to throw rocks at you. So, hold on here. God, this is starting to feel like we're playing Baldur's Gate. Everybody roll initiative. Yeah, there were those quests in Baldur's Gate where you're like, well, before we make an agreement, let's go to this area and see what it looks like, and they're like, oh fuck, I gotta get into a fight. But actually, this is good because I didn't really plan on you guys doing so well with the role play. You guys are starting to impress me more and more every time we play, and so now I have to work on some stuff because you got further into this little rabbit hole than I anticipated. All right, so Steve the Devil with a 22, Weeben with a 13. God damn it, Weeben. All right, so you see these giants, they're getting ready to start picking up they were taking the stones and planting them like they're making a rock garden, but now they're like picking up the stones, getting ready to throw them at the party. Steve the Devil, what would you like to do?
How steep is that embankment?
It's pretty steep. It's exactly like it looks here. Like you could climb it with an athletics dexterity check. If you used grappling hooks and climbing gear, you would get an advantage to that roll.
Well,
but because it is, a steep embankment, you would only move at half your movement rate. It is difficult terrain.
well, with my Eldritch Blast pull, I can pull this guy 10 feet onto the slope and make him tumble down to the bottom.
Which guy?
The front guy.
Okay. Yeah, you can do a Eldritch Blast. Go for it. So these giants are huge. Just to let you know.
It's going to be a 16.
That misses.
Oh, damn.
And actually, it doesn't miss. He holds up the rock that he's about to throw and like deflects your beam.
Yeah, maybe we should run.
Steve the Devil, anything with a movement or a bonus action?
I will take to the air a little bit.
Okay.
And kind of. Well, actually, I'm going to take to the air and kind of try to get up in this tree a little bit and be like, I don't know, guys. Do we want to fight for the place? It's not even ours yet.
It's hard to feel motivated to fight for property you don't own yet. Although, sooner or later, you're going to have to come back and deal with this.
I think we should go back to the bar and be like, hey, what the hell, guy?
Weeben.
Towers all taken apart.
Weeben, what would you like to do? So, I mean, as a party, like, we're on Weeben's turn. As a party, are you going to just be like, fuck these guys and run? Or...
They are so...
No, I'm gonna... As a free action, I'm gonna say to the party, what the hell? This tower's not even free and clear, and they're offering it to us. Some bullshit. And then I'm gonna run through these trees and hide. And attempt to hide.
Man, you stay out of my trees.
Okay, so you're going to run into... Go ahead and move yourself into the trees, and you can make a stealth check.
Okay. I want to get fairly into the trees a little bit, not like around the edges.
Okay? And then make your stealth check.
Stealth check says that I can't read numbers. Sorry.
I know that feeling. So what'd you get?
I got a South Point.
All right. So you are completely hidden. I mean, party members who have passive perception above 20 can see you. They know where you're hiding, but the giants are at a loss. They see you run into the trees, but they don't know exactly where you're at. If they huck rocks at you, they are at disadvantage. Is there anything else Weavin wants to do?
I will use my bonus to take the dodge action.
Well, you don't. I mean, you can as a bonus, but you can. Your action can be taking the dodge.
I'll use my action to dodge. So.
Okay, so yeah. Well, I mean, you don't have to do that because dodge would give you disadvantage. You can't put them at double disadvantage. So, I mean, you could ready an action.
I will ready an action.
Okay. Scaly, what do you want to do? I mean, we're still at the point where the party could be like, nope, let's retreat. It's up to you.
Well, we fought a couple different types of giants, so we have an idea of how long it takes to kill one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you fought hill giants.
The math of 6 doesn't pan out for us. And so I'm in the big old note category because we were just coming for a tour, not overthrow. So the broom, big old nope, and 100 move in the northwesterly direction.
Okay, so Scaly is like, fuck this, and he flies off. He is out. I'm going to just remove Scaly from the map. Smokey, you see Scaly. I mean, he's not wrong. Smokey, what do you want to do?
I'll dash away.
Okay.
I think I can get 60 feet.
Oh, I'm sure that's...
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Yeah, you can bail. Yeah, Smokey's like, yep, I'm out, and bails off the map. What does...
Scaly's telepathy briefly. Meet me at that place where we did that thing that one time.
Cletaris, what do you want to do?
With a back and forth glance of like everybody running away, we'll take off into the trees and follow the rest of the party out. Dash out.
Okay, so Cletaris runs away. Bravely. But, yeah. Paladins are holy, they're not stupid. The stone giant, this one in particular... Let's see here. Is going to throw a rock at disadvantage because it's long range at Steve the Devil. I almost said Steve the Giant. Steve the Devil. Oh. Gets a nat 1, and the rock slips out of his head and lands on his, or slips out of his hands and lands on his head as he's getting ready to throw it. It takes 2d10 damage. These are big rocks. Takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage from dropping the rock on his own head.
Yeah, he's got a scratch about that long.
Let's go interrogate that halfling at the pub. I think they're the person we could most take.
This stone giant is going to throw a rock at disadvantage at Weeben. $19 to hit.
Well, fuck. Okay. I will use my evasion for whatever damage happens.
Okay, so you see this rock.
Advantage at a 19. Damn.
This rock gets hurled into the bushes like blind fire and hits you in the tree. Does 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Fuck my life. Oh, wait. We're only 6th level, huh?
Yes, I believe.
I don't have that kind of... I don't have evasion yet. Shit.
Well, that was a disadvantage, the 19?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we ran.
Oh, I have uncanny dodge. That's what it is.
Right, which would give you advantage on things like saving throws for fireball, things like that, but not evasion.
Doesn't it have the attack damage on me, though?
So, ouch. Uncanny dodge.
We'll get you out of there, Weeben. We'll catch up.
Hold on here, I will tell you. Yeah, there's two. There's evasion and there's uncanny dodge.
Yeah, uncanny dodge, you have the attack damage against you.
Right. So you'd only take 10 bludgeoning damage. Evasion is at 7th level, where you can take half damage on saving throws. But really, right now, uncanny dodge is what you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other giants kind of take the wait or the hold action or ready action. They're not quite sure what to do. Weeben and Steve the Devil make a perception check.
Nat 20 for... have your character sheet. Section 28.
Wow. Okay. Steve, what'd you get?
A hard 12.
So, Weeben, you see these other giants. They don't throw rocks at you. They carefully set their stone down, and they hold up their hands and they look around, and then they clap their hands and they all kind of stare up at the sky and look around like they're high, like they don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Steve the Devil, what would you like to do?
I'm going to point my finger at the guy who threw a rock at me and use message and tell him his mom was a naked mole rat, and then I'm going to fly off to catch up to the rest of the party.
Okay. So, Steve is now gone.
To get a giant fucked up.
Weeben, you see this giant that just threw the rock, and even he threw the rock, and he's like looking around like he's not sure of everything that he sees. Weeben, what do you want to do?
They're stoned rock giants.
Stoned giants.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a mushroom party for
He
stone
gets
giants.
it. He knows what's up.
Yeah, there's a reason behind this for stone giants, trust me.
Okay.
Well,
Because I can before I run away, I'm gonna attempt to shoot the one that hit me with the rock at disadvantage with
Okay.
my bow. So do that.
Yeah.
It's at 80 feet, right? So it's disadvantage.
Let's see here. So that would be 80 feet. What kind of, you're using a short bow?
Yeah. Or is that too far altogether?
Hold on, I will tell you. I tell you. Short bow.
You tell me? Tell me what you use?
Oh shit. You are right at the edge of short range. So yeah, you could hit him and you do not have disadvantage.
Sweet. Since he hit me, he knows where I am?
No.
So
He
would
threw
I
a
get
rock at the
advantage?
bushes where you were hiding.
So would I get the advantage of being hidden?
Correct.
Oh, sweet. So I get an advantage.
Correct. Which means sneak attack applies.
Oh, hell yeah. Not that I'm really trying to hurt him so much to see what happens here, but... Okay, so 16?
Miss.
Alright, so he still doesn't know where the hell I am.
Your arrow hits, but it just bounces off of his skin. Your arrow shatters as soon as it hits him. It would have hit home, but your arrow just shatters as soon as it hits him.
And on that note, I'm out.
Okay. And so you run off the map and run away.
Hell yeah.
And I assume you guys are heading back to... You're heading back to Daggerford.
Yes, but I would like to relay to the party all the things that I saw, including my arrow shattering off of them.
So you come back to Daggerford through Farmer's Gate. Oh, wait, no. It would actually be... it would be back through the caravan gate here.
On the way back, Clitoris will do a lay on hands to heal his leg or whatever got hurt.
Okay. Yeah, it's not so much the leg, but it's kind of right in here that kind of hurts. Yeah. So you make your way back from the tower. Where are you going? Are you going to the River Shining Tavern? Or are you going back to the Ducal Castle? What are you
I
doing?
think we have a better chance of getting the truth out of the tavern people, personally.
Well, if we do take his deal, we definitely need to tell them that they need to go eradicate their the infestation problem for us.
Well, there's that, and then there's the fact that two people promised us the same tower. So I think they were intending for us to go there and not come back or never get it. It wasn't like a real thing, because it can't be both of theirs to promise.
Especially
And with all the giants there, I don't think they intended anybody to actually get the tower.
Yeah, so I want to go there and complain about our tower being infested with giants with substance abuse problems.
So it is now evening. So you have two places that you can go where you have room and board. Are you going to Happy Cow Tavern, or are you going to the River Shining Tavern to immediately tell them to fuck off? Or are you going to the Happy Cow? I was going to say Holy
I'm
Cow.
down and angry, so I'm going straight there to tell them to fuck off.
To Shining Cow? All right. So Smokey heads off.
I got a rock thrown at me.
Yeah, Smokey heads off towards Shining Cow. And I mean, Weeben, you should be feeling butthurt over the fact that, you know, you're a part of this organization, you've ranked up, and you just kind of got set up to be killed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going on for here. but I'm not going in the front door.
All right. So how do the rest of you feel about this situation?
Well, are we certain that they send us to our death, or do they know that there's giants out there?
Right. They may not even know. That's a possibility.
There's still two people trying to claim a damn tower. I want to know what the hell's going on.
They didn't ensure that my tower was free of inebriated giants. So that's bullshit.
Everybody can make a history check.
Wow.
You say history?
Yep.
I got a 19. First, yeah.
Another two. What the hell?
Moki knows.
For some reason, I know something.
Yeah, we didn't get really much. We were like 12 and 14.
What about Scaly got
Two
a
again.
3. Weaven got a 2. What about Clitoris and Steve?
Clitoris got a 14, Steve got a 12.
So, Clitoris and Smokey, as you guys make your way back into town as sun is setting, Clitoris and Smokey are kind of talking amongst themselves, and they remember a little tiny bit of giant lore in that it is believed that stone giants don't ever come to the surface world. They think the surface world, they refer to the surface world as the dream realm. So when they are on the surface, they never know if their actions actually mean anything. Like they think that everything on the surface realm is a dream and it doesn't matter what you do. Or if what you do, it might be, a huge thing, which might be why they were dismantling this tower.
So somebody imported them.
Possibly.
That's a
Or
Clitoris.
six of them to come up to the top world, the dream world. 1 or 2, okay, sure, but 6? And to all be in the exact same place?
That's what Clitoris is thinking. Somebody imported them. And 6 of them? That's a pretty strong person to be able to pull 6 of them.
Yeah, you guys.
I think the snail and homegirl in the tower are at odds.
Yeah, so the question, so you are, I guess, so you're, with this new information, are you going to stay at the Happy Cow or are you going to stay at River Shining Tavern for the night?
We're staying at Happy Cow, but we're going to swing by the tavern to be like, hey, yo, man, my dude, I got words.
Okay, so you go to Happy Cow, or I'm sorry, you go to River Shining Tavern and Inn, which, keep in mind, everything smells like boiling urine down here.
Hey, I didn't come in through the front door.
No, so there is a back door up here.
Full on hide action.
Yep, make a stealth check.
Stealth is 9? Yeah, thank you for that thing. 22.
What? You got a 9?
I got a soft 22.
Okay. So you're fairly stealthy.
Steve will walk through the main door all stumpity and pissy, like, the hell?
You get the ninja mask. What is Scaly doing? Are you just barging in with the rest of them?
I'm still on my broom, but yes.
Okay. So
Steve wants to make it a little bit more exaggerated in order to pull tension away from Weeben coming in the back door. Like,
You guys died while I was there too.
Wait, so Steve's barging in the door, like basically kicking in the door to draw attention away from Weeben.
correct.
Because I died. If they asked where I was, say I died.
And what about Smokey and Clitaris? Are you guys just following them?
I'm stomping in. I'm at the front of the line stomping in too. I'm
Okay.
really pissed off.
And I'm sorry, Jeff. What was Scaly doing?
I'm still flying on my broom, and I'll zoom around the room while people are talking.
Okay, we'll put you over a table. All right, so Clitoris, Steve the Devil, and Smokey, and zooming Scaly come into the room. What are you guys confront? It's now evening. The River Shining Tavern, not nearly as busy as the Happy Cow. This tavern, it seems like there's a rougher clientele. All of them are wearing black armor. What are you guys saying? And of course, the snail is at the corner of the bar, and he goes, "Oh, you're back. Have you made a decision early?"
Oh, look at him, put my hands on him, like, whoa, we want to check out your tower. Like, what's going on? Like, that's not fine or any. You got an infestation. You been there lately?
He kind of looks a little confused. It's like, how did you know how to get to the tower?
Man, everybody knows how to get to the tower. What are you talking about? Ain't no secret.
Make a deception check.
Oh, that is going to be a 16.
He crosses his arms and he goes, "You went and talked to Baroness Wynn."
I hold up my hand and like, I swear, I never talked to any baroness.
He's like, "I don't believe you." What are the rest of you doing?
They threw a boulder at us. It was mean.
Smokey or Scaly, anything?
Mean too. It's fun.
I will reiterate with my telepathy that I still intend to eat him.
But Taurus is just kind of standing there menacingly to like back up the party if stuff goes off.
He says, "Look, I did not know that there was anything dangerous at the tower. I honestly was going to give you that tower free and clear." He's like, "But, hold on. On my side, whenever anybody gives you any kind of tower or fortress or whatever, it's always up to you to clear it once you receive it. It's not on the property owner."
We need to go to the people's court.
That seems like some bad business. Like, what's up? You're not giving it to me like ready to use?
Judge Judy wouldn't buy any of that.
That's right.
Fair condition does not constitute 6 giants dismantling it.
He's like, 6? Wow, that is impressive. There have been giants moving around the region. It's dangerous out there. I don't know what to tell you.
Tower.
So Weeben's moving stealthily over behind the snail. I think I assume... Is it safe to assume that Weeben's going to try and make a stealth attack?
I'm guessing.
Just shake him like it was
Even
prison.
if you're going to do a stealth, I mean, we're both halflings, so Weeben's going to do the stealth knife around his throat.
Okay.
Another knife in his and go, really? Is this how we do things is this how we're doing things now? You show a bit more respect to one of your own.
So, first of all, make an attack with your dagger. Well, I guess holding a dagger up to the throat is more of a grapple check, so go ahead and make a grapple check.
I have never attempted to grapple before in my life out of Red Road.
So it would be strength athletics.
Ah, shit.
Halfling wrestling is bound to be amusing.
Versus his strength athletics. He got a 14.
Do I get any advantage for speaking up on him?
Yes, you can make it at advantage. Nice. So you pull up and you start asking him questions. You can make your intimidation check with advantage as well.
So, intimidation check was a 17, and I want to know how two people are offering the same tower and what is really going on.
So you bring your knife up, and you've got a knife in his lower back, and you've got a knife to his throat, and he says, wait, I didn't know that Baroness Wynn had plans to take over Daggerford. And that's where we're going to break for this week.
We've been mad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and he has just spilled that he didn't know that Baroness Wynn had goals of taking over Daggerford. So we'll leave that until next week.
That was some good group work there.
That was some good role play. Everybody gets an inspiration point for role play. You guys did an excellent job of role playing out all of this.
Cool. I'll see you guys next week.
I will see you guys next week. Smokey, I will see you on Wednesday night. Captain Beth.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Later.
Have a good night.